I'm up here because I'm no super duper expert. I was sharing with a couple guys at lunch. I'm a good person to listen to because I did everything wrong. I've spent all the money on the books. I've been to the seminars. I've been to all the various places out there doing ongoing training and the boot camps and all the other stuff that's out there. And it's tough to differentiate yourself, particularly if you're a motivational speaker, you leadership folks. You don't have to look at magazines that deal with leadership. That's not the point. The point is, who are the people that hire leadership speakers? What are they reading? If you're after, I taught this to stockbrokers years ago, and you need to think the same way. If you're after a multi-million-dollar customer, what's a great magazine? Oh, Business Week, Business Journal, Forbes, Money. No. Yachting, Cigar Aficionado. What are they reading when they're not at the office? The opportunities are endless, and these people are begging for information from you. You're the experts. They want to hear from you. Folks, you have no idea. Everybody says, well, if you want to be a successful speaker, you have to write a book. I'm not going to argue that. I've never written a book. I've written enough articles for 22 books, but I've never put it in the form of a book. You know why? I'll tell you the truth why I haven't. Because there's two reasons, and this is not anything to do with books. It has to do with the fact that, number one, I can't convey the message I want to convey in that format, and number two, I'm extraordinarily lazy. But I'm a big advocate of putting that down if that's what you want to do. Now, with that said, book publicity. It's okay to get PR, the ego-type PR for books, but my thing is I want people to write articles. Everybody in this room's got an article in them. Every time, your speech is an article. Your story is an article. That story belongs in Reader's Digest, and you're the one that pointed out the fact that you get to mention the fact of all the other things you do. You're speaking, that's the point. There's publicity out there that has nothing to do with your business. It's this thing that you do. It's called participating. Since you guys touched on it, it's participating in your community. And that's what you want to do. You want to bring the message to as many people as you possibly can. You will discover in a very short period of time that the magazines that I'm talking to you about, and again, it's right there in front of your information, because I'm down to 5 minutes. I'm going to blow through this real quick to make sure I get it covered. But you will find that that type of publicity and the things that are in these various directories, these are people that are actively advertising and seeking your information, and they want to hear from you. And if you're missing an opportunity if you don't do that. Every single person in this room, upon your break today, it's getting a little bit later in the day, but there's not a reason in the world you can't pick up the phone and start making media contacts right now, today. The interesting thing about it is, like my good buddy Sue Pelletier, they are all connected to other people. I couldn't exhaust 42,000 names if I wanted to. And for those of you in the room that maybe you aren't a speaker, you work for a corporation or you want to do something, you young ladies back there, there's not a reason in the world you can't do the same thing. You think David got a kick out of learning that you guys wrote an article on marketing and ended up in a national publication? You want to see your career take off? Yeah. And it's free. Why would you not do it? You guys are going to hire virtual assistants. You're going to hire people that are going to work for you. You beat your head against the wall, and all those things are things that we as speakers have to do. I've done them myself. But this, I have a philosophy. If you are the only person in the room listening to me, I am exerting no more effort to talk to you than I am this entire room. Why not do the same thing with your marketing? If I can sell one publisher, I speak to everybody she represents. And if you think for one moment they don't open up the Bible of their particular industry and read every word, and I'll tell you something else that it has above the Wall Street Journal, it has shelf life. Now you subscribe to Association Meetings Magazine, you're an association planner, you get an article from a speaker who was just featured in a publication that you like, trust, and subscribe to, then get a call from that speaker. I ask the question again, you taking that call? Are you interested in that speaker? Because you just got told by the person, the one person in the world that you respect the most, the publisher or the person that puts the information for your industry, that this is the expert in that field. Does anybody have any questions? I'm not a super big advocate of stopping myself in mid-sentence, but I know people do. I will tell you this. I'll be here all day. I'm going to be here the rest of the day. I'll be here in the morning. I'll be around. I'm not a consultant. I don't charge consulting fees. I will charge you nothing if you have a question you want to ask. This is not something I do just for ISN. I do it for everybody. And I know it's tough, but the reality of it is twofold. I've learned more from people like you, and the majority of people, they look at me and they take notes and they like what I have to say, but they don't do the things that need to be done consistently to do it. But I am going to tell you this. I don't mean to point at you because somebody gave me an evaluation last time that says, don't point at people. Which, by the way, somebody also gave me an evaluation that said, speech was great, but you should have buttoned your jacket. So in honor of that person, I'm jacket free. You know, there was a time early in the day you wouldn't even consider doing such a thing. But anyway, if you will take the media, learn who they are, develop relationships with them, treat them as partners. I want you to remember this. When you sell them, no matter how good they are, they have someone else to sell. And I want you to remember this. Number one, relationships, but number two, this. Every time they publish anything about you or by you, their butt is on the line. They are taking an enormous risk, just like a meeting planner is. Every time they put one of us on stage, I don't care how good our marketing materials are, they're taking a risk. If you understand that and appreciate that and partner with them and make their 14-hour-a-day lives easier, they will reward you with more publicity, exposure, business, and opportunity than anything else I've discovered in my 20-some years of doing this. Treat them as cherished partners, love them, and they will make you the celebrity, the star, and the millionaire that you want to be, all for helping them do their jobs. Thank you.